let's start this bitch off with the little thing we like to call a news.
Gather round, folks, it's time for the scoop. Tune your ears in, let's join the loop.
What you got in the loop for us there?
All right. IMAX is currently up for sale, and the company is valued somewhere between 2.4 and 2.8 billion. And the 4 front runners to buy the company include Disney, Sony, Netflix, and Apple. I don't know. How do you feel about we think of IMAX as being all right? It's a cinema, but it's like they're also cameras. They're developing different stocks. I don't know. Is there anybody out of those 4 that you might?
Not for a second.
Want to see take over?
I kind of don't trust any of them because I don't want them to pocket that capability to just one studio. And
we're going to lose so much.
Abused and I don't want to see here's Netflix on IMAX. No. It's not. Don't pretend to give me that at home and convince people this is what IMAX is. Yeah,
like how they do it on Disney Plus. They're like, hey, you can watch this movie in IMAX. I'm like, in what world am I getting an IMAX experience watching this at home? I get
the concept of showing more of the frame and letterboxing it, and I don't mind then scooting up closer to my TV. But don't try to fool the people who may not be aware of what that actually means into thinking they are actually getting more than they really are.
True.
And I think that is, at the end of the day, that's the part that scares me the most is don't start selling fucking snake oil now.
Yeah.
And there is a key difference. Please be aware of that, people. I'm sure our listeners are well aware of these sorts of changes, but the general public, I think it's the general consumer masses, this could get really dangerous, and that worries me. I think it staying sort of a third-party entity was always kind of a good thing. It made everyone else strive for that. Do I want to pay for those cameras? Do I want to pay for that film stock?
And when you hear we shot specifically for IMAX, it's that means something. And now it's we just shot an IMAX because we're Disney. It's that.
We stretched that frame out to IMAX. We don't give a shit. Whatever. And
the parameters, hearing Christopher Nolan talk about the Odyssey, they shot it all in IMAX, so that limited how much and how long the movie can be. He found out that he can only do just slightly under 3 hours to have the movie not be distorted and whatnot. I don't know how that works, but it's that's kind of cool. You got to work around that's interesting. But it's
how you build your sets in your frame. It goes go along with that because you're seeing so much more of the world. You don't have the safety zone you would normally have is not there. It's you got to build not just the scene, but the world.
Your lockup's got to be fucking airtight. There's not you show one fucking PA holding off people. It's game over.
1 cup of Starbucks. Done.
Yeah. Learn a lesson here, HBO. But it's interesting that they're let's sell because I think they just had one of their best years last year. So it's I get out while the going's good, but
no, I get it. I get it from a business stance, but just from a consumer side,
it's scary.
I appreciate that's worrisome. So I hope whoever takes it over, if one of those 4 take it, please be respectful of us. All right, who am I kidding? No, they're not. But
I feel like the only company here that I kind of could hope for would be Apple, because they're always making new innovations and whatnot. So it's they get technology, but it's
they get technology, but they're also not very good about sharing technology.
Exactly.
They like to lock it into their own stuff. I'm because I get what you're saying. They've so much respect for the art form and the completed project, what you end up getting. But they're also probably out of that list the worst about keeping technology specific capability to themselves and not communicating that with other.
And nickel and diming you, and specifically, you gotta have this item. You gotta come to our fucking people to repair it, or else you void your warranty. And it's
are they going to be you have to come to our stages? You have to use literally our camera that we built for that stage. Is it going to come down to such a nitty gritty that you're going to start turning away people that want to use that, and we're going to start missing out on things that could eventually be? You know what? Someone needs DMAX format, even big a percentage bigger each direction on the frame, and now it's a different thing.
You're right. You're 100% right there. Yeah. So I guess time will tell if they sell. Hopefully they don't. Or hopefully, I don't know, what if like Kodak or some other film company comes in by? That would make sense.
Yeah, resurrect
Keep it alive.
Yeah.
But film is kind of a dying breed, which is the scary part of all this.
It is. It's soon it's going to be just an IMAX photo cell on a digital camera, if it isn't already.
A viewfinder or like a fucking AI, not AI, but a fucking VR headset.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, let's go into another not so great story, but we got to fill in some minutes here. Anne Hathaway is executive producing a series based on her 2004 fantasy movie Ella Enchanted. Dennis, have you seen Ella Enchanted? Because I haven't.
I think that's one I hadn't. I would get Ella Enchanted mixed up with
the Amy Adams one.
Yeah.
I
hate to admit,
they're interchangeable in my book. I think.
Ooh, okay.
I think it's about like a princess. When I was reading the article, I think it's about like a princess whose parents die and she has to go to school and she falls in love with the prince and she realizes, I don't know. It just didn't seem interesting to me.
Is that the one where she's like doing the inverse, where like she's doing all the Prince Charming stuff?
Maybe. Let's look. Ella Enchanted, 2004.
Let's Google it live on the air.
As a baby, Ella receives a visit from Lucinda, Vivica A. Fox, her fairy godmother, and is bestowed with the magical talent that requires her to obey anything that she is told to do. This proves to be more of a curse than a blessing, particularly once her mother dies and she's forced to live with her cruel Dame Olga. Eventually, Ella embarks on a journey to find Lucinda and break the spell, accompanied by a handsome prince. I guess I could see how that would be.
Remember this?
Make a TV show.
Yeah. You could stretch the story out over an arc and really play out all those moments.
Yeah.
Why not? I suppose. Right. I'm not rushing out to watch this, but I can see the logic for giving it a shot, though.
Like little girls or little kids can be like, yeah, cool, this is cool. Like, I get it. It's not for us, but it's for someone, hopefully.
Yeah.
But you know what might be for us, Dennis? This one's a little more intriguing, I think. Succession star Sarah Snook is set to star in a remake of Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. And it's going to be a limited series, and it's described as a visceral present-day reimagining of Hitchcock's classic set in Alaska with the murder mystery at the center and new characters led by a new female protagonist. It's like, I get it. Birds is kind of creepy. If a flock of hundreds of birds come and attack you, that's kind of cool, I think.
And like I could see,
and they were real birds back then too, being flung at the actors.
Yeah, no, this is actually interesting because for those not aware, but I'm sure a lot of you are, The Birds is a slow burn. That build up, especially it's that classic. The antagonist is built into the title. It's built into the trailer. It's built into all the advertising. You know what it is you're getting ready for. The movie itself even warns you multiple times as it's starting, gives you those little escalations, and as it's starting to ramp up. That could be interesting to see stretched out over the course of a mini series or a series. Right. I would like to see that. I find it interesting that we're jumping then so far away as to go to Alaska, even more isolating. I feel like it's mainly seagulls and crows, but all right, let's see.
What are we gonna have, like penguins and shit? That'd be interesting, like killer penguins.
Owls, I think.
Ooh, they can fuck you up.
Penguins are South Pole, I believe.
Oh, yeah. That would probably make sense.
But wild,
murder mystery into the mix, and then it's like there could be some real tension.
Right. It's like you could have actual human on human murders occurring when you're trying to determine, like someone gets smart and thinks they can try to hide it. Like,
but now they're stuck in one room, one building. They can't escape because the birds are out there. So it's like danger on danger.
Yeah. I like that murder mystery. Like, murder dinner party.
Yeah.
We're all stuck in kind of, yeah, that's fun. No, it's funny for me. Like, this is one of the first horror movies that kind of left me with the scarring impression of I will never unsee the farmer with the eyes plucked out. Or, like, I saw that way too young, but at the same time, it's like something that struck such a strong chord with me. I love it so much now. It's like now I recognize what got accomplished. I really hope they aim for that. You know?
Yeah.
I want them to aim for it's got to really grab a hold of you then, because the original did. So
true.
High stakes there. High stakes.
So they're shopping it around right now. So hopefully it finds a nice home. Like, I could see this being on like HBO or like fucking maybe Peacock or Apple, because they make those three make pretty good series. I feel like
they do. You
get a little dark.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm kind of excited for that one. I'm happy it's on a movie, because I feel like you could do a lot more with like a limited series or a show.
How do you just, if it's a movie, how do you just not make it again? You know,
it's gonna be like you got Psycho shot for shot almost,
right? And then like, so you remake the birds, you change it too much. Now it's not the birds. Now I don't want. Yeah. Series seems like the smartest route. So
agreed. All right, this next one is also sticking to an older movie here we talked about before. FX and Hulu have picked up Very Young Frankenstein to Sirius. It'll star Zach Galifianakis, Dolly Wells, Spencer House, Nikki Crawford, Kumail Nanjiani, and Carrie Ewells. Very Young Frankenstein blends inspiration from the fan favorite movie with the inventive, irrelevant spirit of that and all the other FX comedies over the years, making this a completely original take on a classic story. And I think Taika Waititi and the folks who made What We Do in the Shadows are doing this, and I like that show. I know it wasn't your cup of tea, but
no. Quite the opposite.
Oh, your wife didn't care for it as much.
Yes, I still have to follow through myself, but
apologies,
I was just about to say that is the perfect, I think, team to put together exactly the tone of what reverence Young Frankenstein requires. Very much, very Young Frankenstein. So that sounds incredible, and I am very excited for this.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I am not a fan of Young Frankenstein. I love Peter Boyle, I love Gene Wilder, I love Mel Brooks, but I just can't get into that movie. But I feel like this show I could probably get into. I don't know. I just have a weird feeling about
having more time to really digest the relationships and the humor. You can come back and really appreciate a little more than it just everything hitting you once and going away, but getting to really simmer in what the world is for one episode could be. Maybe that's the key difference. Maybe it's even worse than the movie. I don't know.
Hey, time will tell. I just wish Peter Boyle was around and he can do some flash forwards. Oh man. All right. Let's see. Up next, Paramount has hired the writers behind the Sonic the Hedgehog films to write a film adaptation of the classic Sega beat-em-up series games, Streets of Rage. It'll be directed by James Samuel, who last directed The Harder They Fall for Paramount Plus. Have you ever? I assume you've at one time or another played Streets of Rage or heard of it at least. I imagine.
Yep. Got to play that one a little bit. It was never very good at it, but I did really enjoy the side scroller beat 'em up city games like this, where you're like this and the Ninja Turtles and
that's always like the arcade style. You have to move. You got to spam buttons.
Yeah.
I like Double Dragon.
Cool. Yeah, Double Dragon.
Yeah.
Do you remember Narc?
I don't know. Fuck.
Instead of kind of the same thing.
Ooh, that sounds badass.
Metal, like that's a little more Metal Slug than Streets of Rage at that point, but I digress. No, that sounds cool.
And
at this point,
then.
Oh, please.
No. I cut you off. I'll go after. Sorry.
At this point, I feel like we've proven time and time again, even the more action-oriented games can still have a very well-told story, be very appealing visually, have intriguing characters that make me want to keep coming back. Prime example that we both enjoyed, I know for a fact, is Twisted Metal. Yes, there is a lot of story, but we only have all of this story because of like 7 games or whatever the fuck. The show did it in a few episodes. That should really
and it made it its own thing, and then really dove deeper into it on the second season.
Yes,
and still made it its own. It has heart. It's vicious, but it has heart. It has the soul of the game, and that's what I kind of like about this. It seems like they're bringing the people that did Sonic, so it's kind of going to be funny, I assume, but. Also, the director of The Harder They Come, or the Harder They Fall, I think you might have reviewed back in 2021, Jonathan Majors, Idris Elba, Western with Lakeith Stanfield. Was that? I forget how your review was of that.
Harder They Fall. Yeah, that was that high concept, very stylized visuals with the music.
Yeah,
it was the Western.
Yeah, I think so.
I liked that a lot. No, that honestly lends itself to what I feel a movie version of this game should. Super over the top. I want to see people getting punched across things, like kind of like the little bit of hope I have for the Street Fighter movie.
Yes,
it would be so much fun to see that week to week on a show like this. So I'm excited.
Sorry, this is actually going to be a feature.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
no, you're good. You're good. I don't think I actually mentioned that. Sorry, my apologies.
That doesn't change anything. I still think it'd be a fun watch.
Yeah,
if it's embraced in that time. End of the day. You got to
get the tone right.
I think that would be fun to check out, and you set yourself up for sequels if you do it right. So
agreed. Well, we're not leaving the zone of video games just yet, Dennis. Activision has filed a trademark in Europe under the categories pre-recorded films and animated production services for Crash Bandicoot. The trademark will be valid until 2035. I'm assuming that they're essentially trying to do what Nintendo did with the Super Mario Brothers. Do you think Crash has the legs to kind of lead a PlayStation universe of films?
I think it could be a start. Let's give it a shot. Because what's funny is there's so many other properties that were traditionally associated with Sony and PlayStation that already have gotten beat out. To then now include this one, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, it makes sense. It's not going to be your flagship. I think God of War here pretty soon is going to be the
true. That's going to hit hard. And like we were just saying, Twisted Metal.
And Yep. It's things that are, but not to disparage Crash because he's a great character.
Sure.
He's carried the his franchise for a long time and the platform really. Because aren't his games normally like platform launch titles?
I think like day one. Yeah, normally.
It's like that game or Ratchet and Clank. One of those two will probably be up there early.
Sadly, I never saw the Ratchet and Clank movie. Like, I feel like I didn't hear anybody ever talk about that.
No, yeah.
I feel like they had one. It didn't Sky Cooper, or it doesn't matter. Sorry,
Sly Cooper. No, that's right.
Sly Cooper. Did he get a movie?
I think they were trying to make.
Oh, we talked about it. Maybe.
Yeah, I think that was the story of like it got really far along, and then because the game. It had a cult following, but they also never did a whole lot of like HD re-releases or remasters. They didn't do new age sequels like current sequels.
So you're kind of stuck in time. You're not really staying with the modern audience, staying relevant.
Yeah, where I feel like if they were to actually make and release a brand new Bandicoot game now, it probably would have better legs than Sly Cooper. Maybe
that's true.
Ratchet and Clank, but at
not
least
as big. But yeah.
Bandicoot's still got the pedigree, so
fair enough.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. I hope.
So I don't know. I've only played a handful of Crash games, but he's a fun character. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see that'd be fun. But
let's see if he's got the apples to survive.
Oh, I like that. All right. Oh, I got to learn how to hit buttons here, Dennis. Emmy winner Emmy winner Quinta Brunson is developing I can't fucking speak right now or read. Well, I never can. Emmy winner Quinta Brunson is developing and set to star in a Betty Boop film. It'll trace the origin and evolution of Betty Boop through the perspective of her creator, Max Fleischer, examining the relationship between the artist and his creation as he navigates and creates a commercial, successful animated icon, one of the biggest icons particularly as the icon begins to take shape and a life of its own. I feel like I just said a lot of things. I don't know if that made any sense. So it sounds like it might be like a Cool World / Barbie type of movie, like where
right. It's the self-awareness. It's the outside real world exists, so to speak, against the world she's in. I don't know. Betty Boop is an interesting character because I remember growing up with her still being vaguely relevant.
Right.
I had like a Looney Tunes cassette, or like it wasn't Looney Tunes, but a cassette tape that had like 100 kids cartoons, and a bunch of hers were on there, and so I grew up with that familiarity. And you see, not to knock anyone, older generations are very familiar with who she is, and
100%
have that fandom, and that's great. If you were to try to explain that to a child, who is Betty Boop? Tell a kid who Betty Boop is. Like that's
like, at least they know who Bugs Bunny is because he's been relevant throughout childhood, or Mickey Mouse. But Betty Boop came out 100 years ago, and she's just kind of a sexualized woman who it's like,
she's in high heels and a cocktail dress, and she's selling you cigars and cigarettes.
She's a flapper. Yeah.
That's the thing I distinctly can hear in my head is cigarette. Like, and I know that's not her whole thing.
Sure. Like, I don't really care for Abbott Elementary. I could never get into it, but I hear it's great. And I feel like Quinta has a very specific style of comedy and tone. I think if anybody could pull something interesting like this off, it could be her. But
I am a fan because I've watched a little bit more of the show, not much. But what you're saying though, yes, I really like that style of humor. Clearly, it's one of those where like you can see those fringe pieces, especially like the Sunny episode. You can see this like, oh, there's way more there that's getting held back. So I'm curious with a new property like this, what would then blossom from that? Because like you said, if you gave it the Barbie treatment, that could be really cool. And then we could be seeing all sorts of Betty Boop like stuff.
Yeah, resurgence. Cartoons, shorts. No, the sky's the limit.
Characters from like this era or a little later, do you think any of them deserve this look again, like Felix the Cat or Woody
yeah. I mean, I know a couple of years ago they made a weird live action CG Woody Woodpecker thing, and I'm like, I don't know how that did. Clearly not well enough, but yeah, I feel like that'd be kind of cool. That, I mean, like we talked a couple of episodes ago, Casper's making a resurgence. So maybe it's time for these older like characters to come back into fray. Like, why not? They're properties, and the only way to get kids to know who they are is by trying to bring them into the fold, I guess.
Yeah, reintroduce them again.
How about you? Who would you like to see come back?
I remember liking Felix the Cat a lot as a kid. Woody Woodpecker too. But as a serial, you know, like not just a one-off movie with very little context, but that could be fun. Droopy.
Oh, Droopy came to my head a little bit too.
It's like there's one where it's like he's so tongue-in-cheek, especially when you get to like the Tex Avery Droopy. I like that. It would actually work well with a modern audience. Very dry, very sort of dark humor, but you inject it with this like, I'm forcing myself to be happy sort of.
Who would you see? Who could you see doing Droopy? I don't know why I'm thinking Zach Galifianakis. Like, he just is laid back kind of sarcasm. But or no, maybe what about like what's his face from the Office, the creator of The Office? Why am I blanking on his name? Wow, I suck at this.
Not
the British Office, the real Office.
Not Steven, but
Stephen Merchant could be interesting.
See, I was thinking Bill Hader.
Oh, Bill Hader would be good, but he's the Cat in the Hat now. So, although you can do multiple, Bill Hader would be cool.
That's Dr. Seuss. He could do it. He could be.
That's true. It's a different universe.
Yeah.
Oh man,
yeah. I think there's a lot of valid options.
Yeah.
Really.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, moving on here. Should have been a story after Young Frankenstein, but I didn't plan it out ever as well. A Guide to Recognizing Your Saints director Dido Montiel will be directing a Gene Wilde biopic. It'll be written by Jeremy Roth, who is best known for writing both How I Met Your Father and Love, Victor over on Hulu. I feel like, why not? Gene Wilde is an interesting character. People still know him because of the Wonka stuff.
He still
How do you feel about that?
He still has this multi-generational pedigree of interest. I think it is more than well deserved. In fact, as you said that, I'm like, fuck, is this not a thing already?
That's right? It feels like it should be.
It's not. Yeah. Oh God.
And it sounds like the fans really want Jeremy Allen White to play him. And I'm like, I totally see. I always look at him like he looks like a young Wonka.
Good day, sir. You lose. Blazing Saddles. It would be amazing.
Dude, right?
Some like behind the scene, like you have a scene of them on the set of Blazing Saddles. Like,
oh
my God, that'd be
all
great.
his Richard Pryor movies. Like, I think of him as Willy Wonka, but he's such a dark and twisted guy, man.
The layers of comedy he operated under, I think most people don't even realize what they were receiving from him. Like, you go back and watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and it's operating on so many levels at once. That's why it transcends literally the fucking candy bar commercial it was meant to be. And it's such an actor's piece, and he breathed so much life into the world, as well as the set design and everything else that and the music, of course. But his character did a bulk of the heavy lifting. Him as an actor did most of the work to bring that thing to life, and it just for that sake alone, I think it'd be interesting. Much less the rest of his career.
Like Young Frankenstein, sure crazy. See no evil, hear no evil. The producer, like, I mean, the guy, and he was so prevalent. Even when he was older, he was still out there doing stuff. It's like, and I guess this director actually went and got the rights himself. So it's like, this is a passion project for him. And I feel like that's the type of person that you should get doing these types of movies. Someone who cares and has the earnest knowledge and intimate need to make the story come to life.
For sure. Absolutely. Without a doubt, I'd go and check that out.
For sure. All right, this next one I think I'm definitely going to check out here, Dennis. After Greta Gerwig's Narnia movie was taken off the 2026 release calendar, there was a big gap in that film's Thanksgiving weekend for the IMAX slot. But rest assured, Netflix has dropped another highly anticipated film in its place. That's right, Toasties. David Fincher's The Adventures of Cliff Booth will now be getting a 2-week run in IMAX theaters. How do you feel about this, Dennis? I feel like this is a movie we talked about that should come to theaters, but it was only going to get a streaming platform. Do you think it deserves IMAX? I don't know.
If they prepped for it, I think even if it's just a device to hype up the concept, I think I'm kind of okay with that. I think this effort a streamer is willing to put in to put their films into theaters more often, or at least make it, I don't care, make a big show out of it then. If you're fronting the bill so that we as an audience can just enjoy and experience films on this scale again, and the irony of a Cliff Booth / Once Upon a Time in Hollywood movie being a streaming movie, you have to
that's true.
In the theaters. I really like this idea of like, okay, all right, fucking prove it then. I will check in. I will show up in theaters for this movie without a doubt. We just had a little resurgence of Quentin Tarantino films here at home once they did the whole Bloody Affair.
Yep, that's on Peacock now. Yep.
And then I rewatched Inglourious Bastards and Django Unchained.
Classic. Oh, my favorite.
I just kind of rattled through a few. I'm like, God damn, this is the stuff.
Like every time you watch one, it's like, I need more of this. Give me more fucking Jackie Brown. Give me fucking Pulp Fiction. Give me Reservoir Dogs.
That was the next one I was gonna play, and Val's like, no, I haven't seen that one yet. I'm like, that's the reason why.
What a better time to do it, man. Or I guess the best way to do it is to go to a midnight screening at the New Beverly, watch one of Tarantino's prints of his own movie. That's always exciting.
Yes. Oh, that would be great. We got to do that one.
Oh, dude, yeah. But I mean, I'm just so happy to hear, like, when Warner Brothers was going on sale, Ted Sarantos said, we want to make movies theatrical. We want to get in that game. We just haven't had the chance. We're not set up for that. And even though they didn't get Warner Brothers, they're like, hey, this Narnia movie is so good, we're giving it a full theatrical run. Hey, this David Fincher, Quentin Tarantino written Brad Pitt starring movie that we were just going to drop, let's fucking give it to people the way they want to see it. Like, it's like, I'm happy to see now they're starting to actually put their money where their mouth was. And hopefully this means we're getting more and more of their stuff on the big screen.
I think to me, a little bit feels like trying to buy some faith back from their hardcore audience. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Reinvest in us. That will make me want to reinvest back in you. You know,
true.
That I'm more okay with. Although I know I will see this movie on a streamer I already have in my home,
sure.
I won't mind spending that money to then go out and see it exhibited.
Exactly. It's like you're double dipping. All right, you're getting our subscription and you're getting our ticket fee, and you know the theaters are going to be packed. So it's like, why not? It's free money. It prints itself.
Along those lines, they used to make more money off the exact same goddamn business model. You go to the movie, you see it in the movie theater, then you got to wait 3 to 6 months.
It.
You get the VHS, the DVD, or the you're right. It used to be.
You got to wait, and not even 3 months. Back in the day, you got to have wait 6 to 8 months for just to rent it on like a PV on demand, and then you got to wait for the VHS to come out. Like, there was such a prolonged, but that's back when movies played for a month to 3 months at a time.
You'd be waiting a year or more before you could actually watch it again in your home. I miss that anticipation and that longing for that to come to me.
That's the interesting thing. Obsession, that movie came out. It did okay the first weekend. And then it's been going up. It's like, it's been fighting. It's like 4 weeks in, and it's like they announced, it's going to stream in a couple of weeks. And now they're like, no, we're extending the run. I went to see it a second time because I saw it a couple of months ago. I just saw it at a 4:45 showing yesterday to a packed house on a fucking Monday.
See? Exactly. That's the shit, man. No, that's what we've been missing. I was assuming this would be one of your news stories. Shut me down if it's about to be. But the resurgence of films like that, and then you have Backrooms, where you have very low budget films, and you have these very earnest, less experienced younger filmmakers who are being given the shot to then send these here, you have a Obsession, which I believe was a $70,000 budget.
Yeah, and I think it's at 123 million right now. It went from, I think, third place to second place to second place. It's 4 weeks in, and it's still hanging in there and making money.
Obsession, I think, was only a few million, and boom, same thing. It then shot past
Backrooms is killing it.
And that's, hopefully, this is just proving the point of the fans to the studios. Yes, more of this. Yes,
original content.
Yes,
up and coming people who know how to talk to their type of people. It's young people making movies for young people that then can hit other audience members. Like, it's a no-brainer.
See movies. That's the other key thing too. It's not like it's some lost generation of Instagram shorts and TikToks. No, there are people that still want to see all these things. And
now a new report has shown the younger generation now wants to go to the movies. And I feel like a couple years ago it was, oh no, we don't want, we'll just stream. So now it's coming back into the fold. And like you said, now it's these people who have something so personal they want to tell. Like, I heard the guy who did Backrooms. Yeah, he's been doing these shorts for years now, but he had like an 80-page Bible that he's been working on for a couple of years before making this movie. And it's like, that is a level of dedication. Even before he knew he was going to make a movie, he was already putting that work in, hoping one day to do it.
Yeah, that's the level of passion I feel like we've been lacking of far too frequently in the TV and film industry, that it's so refreshing to hear that back. I still have to see those films myself, but I'm very much looking forward to it. And
last Thursday, I went with my buddy Eddie. We went to Alamo Drafthouse to see Backrooms, and I had a long work week, so I was passing out a little bit here and there. But I was paying attention to the movie, and it was good. I wanted to review it today, but I'm like, I want to give it another watch so I can give it its fair due. And I saw another movie yesterday that was like amazing that comes out next week. So I'm like, hopefully, like, there's going to be a review on our YouTube page for Backrooms. But I was so pissed that Sarah and I were out of town this weekend because our drive-in had a double feature of Backrooms and fucking Obsession. And I'm like, oh, that would have been perfect to go see. But
yeah, oh man, nice.
But yeah. So I'm hoping you get to check those out. Like, honestly, Obsession, even like I said, it's lived with me since I saw it back in March. And it equally as good and still hit. And being in an audience where these shocking twists and turns and fucked up things, it was like heaven being like here. Because I'm like, I know this is coming. I know this. And then it's like hearing the people react. I'm like, oh, this is music to my. That's how a movie should be seen, folks. In a theater with more people.
Absolutely.
But I get it's pricey. It's hard to get out sometimes.
I will comment more on that later. When it comes to a certain review, I believe we both have coming up.
Yes. There's a lot we're digging in for that.
It's tied in. Yeah, it's very what we're discussing now is very much tied into a review later, and I'm. Yeah. All
right. Well, let's move on to this next story. We're almost done with the news here, folks. Sorry. A lot of fun stuff to talk about. Drive director Nicholas Winding Refn has chosen his next project. I'm sorry, I know I said his name wrong because I'm illiterate. He'll be remaking William Lustig's 80s classic Maniac Cop. Refn actually has been toying around with the property for almost a decade now. Back in 2019, he was developing a Maniac Cop series for HBO. And here's what the logline for the series was. Set in Los Angeles, told through a kaleidoscope of characters from cop to common criminal, a killer in uniform has uncaged mayhem upon the streets. Paranoia leads to social disorder as a city. They're restless with the mystery of who the exterminator in blue is. Is he mere mortal or is he a supernatural force? Now, that was the premise of what the show was going to be. Nobody knows if that's going to be the premise of the movie, but I know the original movies were fucked up and crazy, so this is a director who makes very distinct, intense films. I'm excited to see what he does with this property. Yeah. What is your relationship with Maniac Cop? Have you fucked with him?
I hate to admit, I haven't watched the original. It was one of those where, like, I distinctly remember early on when Peacock launched, this was in their library, and I had it on my watch list. And it was one of those, like, every time, either I didn't have the time to watch it myself, or I was excited to see it, and maybe not everyone present wanted to watch it. But I love this concept of this, like, almost zombified, vengeful cop spirit that's just like you break the slightest, most minuscule law, punishable by death. And it's taking a symbol you should be cheering on and then turning it on its head. And now it's like, how do you turn the city against not the whole concept, but just this individual? And now we got to decide whether or not, like, it's instilling fear when you see the uniform walking up. Is it someone you can trust, or is it the Maniac Cop? I love that. That's cool.
Such a movie of its time. And it's like, and you have two policemen played by Tom Atkins and Bruce Campbell hunting him down. So it's like, you're in good hands. Sam Raimi's in here. It's like, this is it's been so long since I've seen it. It's on Prime Video. I think I might have to check it out in a couple of days again.
I might watch it too then.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Like, but it's like, could you imagine, like, I know you haven't seen it, and that makes sense, but that what you were describing, the craziness of that, but in a modern day landscape with a director who, like, pushes boundaries, like,
that could be really brutal. I like this because now you have this whole concept of the way modern technology interacts with our world. You could have a living cop's body cam.
That's true.
Captured. Yeah. Oh shit! This, it's like, oh, this guy in blue, he's getting shot at. What they don't realize is he's been chasing after them, ripping him limb from limb. That's why they're turning back and shooting at this cop. So they may try to come to the aid, only to find out this guy's
they're in danger now.
Too. Yeah, I like this misdirection. I don't know,
and especially
I know
right now,
is a little rough, but I'm here
But
for
right now, with cops like being kind of some cops, the people don't look at cops the way they used to look at cops. So it could be a message about society today on top of all that.
it. Yep. It's
Huh?
you could, there are those individuals who adopted that the symbol of the Punisher too close to heart. You're missing the point of who that character was. I think this is an interesting way of turning that imagery on its head. Well, what happens if someone takes that concept and commits too hard to it, that now you are actively rooting against that individual?
Right.
There may be
True.
room for something like that, and it's like where are the lines and the checks and balances?
Yeah.
I think this is an interesting way to explore that concept without you feeling like we're shitting on something real.
Yeah.
It's a monster in a monster movie, essentially. But
100%.
You consider certain topics that I think are, as you said, very prevalent to society right now.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that this movie comes out within the next 2 years and we can review it on the show, man. It'd be fun.
I'd be excited.
Right. And this next one I'm also looking forward to here, man. On the heels of the 9th season premiere of Rick and Morty, word is Warner Brothers is in early development of a Rick and Morty movie, and it will be directed by Jacob Hare, who has directed 27 episodes of the series thus far. How do you feel about a Rick and Morty movie?
Interesting concept. I drove by the Warner Brothers lot yesterday, and there is a unique billboard on the side of it currently that does show Rick and Morty drawn in a completely different art style.
Is it the anime one or?
It didn't strike me as anime typically.
Okay, that's cool.
So it'd be interesting if this was like a little tease of this. Obviously, it'd be very early to announce, but
hey, it's never too early.
It just caught me off guard. I'm like, wow, that's not what I'm used to seeing, but okay.
Yeah.
That could be cool. It survived so well. Given its tumultuous past, the audience is still coming back for it, and the voice, I believe, is still the voice of the show is still there.
Yeah. So, and they're getting a spinoff coming soon, and it's like, and there's another spinoff. They got a bunch of comic books, they got mangas, it's just a Rick and Morty world, man. Everyone knows Rick and Morty. I feel like even old, young. It's kind of like a modern day South Park.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not to say South Park is in modern day, but back when we were kids, South Park was like a taboo.
How terrifying is that statement you just made, though? That's
very
real.
30 years ago, yeah.
Oh man.
But that's what excites me about a movie, because the show does homages to movies. It does weird non sequiturs. It just does whatever the fuck it wants. So a movie to spend over 90 minutes in this world opposed to like 24 minutes. The runway is just, you're off to the races after, I don't know. I'm intrigued. Dan Harmon, I'd love to see what he does with it. But I want another thing based on a cartoon that I want to see what's going to happen here. Scooper Daniel Richmond claims that Disney is in talks with Will Ferrell to star in a live-action Inspector Gadget film, and the remake will be directed by Hot Tub Time Machine and Daddy's Home director Sean Anders. How do you feel about A, a new Inspector Gadget, and B, Will Ferrell as Inspector Gadget?
Oh, I just assumed he'd be Penny.
Not Claw?
No, yeah. I forget what's the dog's name?
Fuck. Yeah. No, I love that dog.
That's cool though. No, I there's a property that grew up watching, and I made an Inspector Gadget reference earlier today, in fact.
Oh.
So, thankfully the person I made it to understood exactly what I was trying to say. But yeah, no, that's fun. I think that's one that honestly never truly goes away.
True. There's always like new incarnations, like CG versions now, and
it also doesn't take much to elevate the character to a more modern setting while still retaining the tone. At the end of the day, he's an android. You just change 100%. What the shit is that comes out of him, but he can still be the bumbling inept Mr. Magoo like inspector. His supporting ancillary characters are the ones that really solve the crime, where you still have your overarching villain who's more than capable of defeating him, but he's still so hung up on the dum-dum that's besting him out front.
Yeah.
And it's great. I think all the elements still apply to a modern audience. You just gotta make it a little bit more relevant so kids want to invest into it too.
True.
That's all. I don't think that's.
And I feel like Will Ferrell has the goofiness to be that bumbling kind of guy with a heart of gold. Yeah. I'm intrigued. I hope this one comes to fruition, whether it's Will Ferrell or not. But I mean, with the director too, it's someone Will's worked with a handful of times, so it's like they get that rapport, so that makes sense.
Exactly, and that's a lot of the key thing. And it's like I say, I think it could be a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, he's not the one solving the cases anyway, so it's going to be... Oh,
Major Tom de Ground Control is saying Tom Hiddleston could make a good Gadget. That'd be interesting. I'd like to see him as Gadget.
I could see, yeah. That's an interesting suggestion. Yeah,
especially since he doesn't get to be a goofy character like that often. I feel like that could be a nice departure from what I'm used to seeing him do.
So another British actor, I think only because I just recently rewatched Multiverse of Madness, but Benedict Cumberbatch, I think, could handle the comedic layer while like trying to play it straight.
Yeah,
bumbling beneath what he's trying to accomplish as he's like getting undercut by his own actions or even his own gadgets. I could see him carrying that too, but that's just a random left field shout out there. But
for sure,
no, I think there's definitely a lot of folks I think that could hit helmet well. But as far as who could communicate as well with this creator, that's the key thing. You want that to be as succinct as it could.
For sure. But so yeah, they're just in early talks now. It's rumors, but I bet we're in a couple of weeks we'll be hearing a little bit more about this. And I'd love to dive deeper into other casting. But this next one, I'm interested to hear your take on here, man. In collaboration with Mario Puzo Estate, bestseller author Andrea Trigani has written an upcoming Godfather follow-up called Connie. The novel set to release in 2027. And of course, Paramount Plus has greenlit a feature film adaptation. So essentially, we're going to be watching Connie, Don Vito's daughter, essentially her point of view and how she's proving everyone wrong, forging her own way into a world that's put her into a box, and just how people have kind of underestimated her father or Michael, and how that did not fare well for him. It's going to be Connie's point of view and being a badass. I'm not going to lie, I am not a fan of The Godfather. I don't like him. I think they're boring. I got to rewatch them. But how do you feel? Are you a Godfather fan?
I feel a little put on the spot because I have not watched all of them. So
okay, all right. So it's not just me. All right.
I don't have all.
Sorry.
No, I don't have enough to say. I think to.
Yeah, but how do you feel about all these years later coming back?
That seems
doing a fourth.
That seems like it's not. This is not the only property that I've heard little bits and pieces of, like trying to continue stories without like. We're not really doing anything. We're going to keep going down the line. I don't know. I think at the end of the day, there's always going to be a fandom for this. I was just looking at D&D books, and there's a fucking tabletop campaign that's Godfather. So there's never going to not be someone who wants to see something out of this.
But it's just such a classic trilogy. Like everyone loves 1, 2, I guess 3 sucks. I've heard, but I mean, it could be interesting if this is redemption. And it'd be intriguing because, of course, the director of the trilogy doesn't want to come back. He's so old, but his daughter's a director now, and she was in the 3rd movie, and she got a lot of flack. Do you think she could come in and take over and be like, yeah, I might not have been the best part of 3, but I'm making up for it by directing a badass 4th entry?
I would hope so. Again, I'm sorry. Obviously the experience is there. It's in the bloodline. It's in the family.
Yeah.
That perspective may offer something unique to land on the screen, given she literally like the artist has come up in the world, in the environment that the films are created in. So maybe they have some other insight that would be reflected onto the screen, into the story, that could be interesting for a character like this. And I am not going to turn away the concept of something that was essentially an entirely male-driven storyline and giving it a female perspective in a beloved franchise, especially from someone within the creation of that franchise. You really can't get much further away from the heart and soul of what the films were. That could be interesting. But again, I'm only speaking of the little bits I've seen of the first film.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for lack of not like. It's not because I didn't like it.
No, for sure.
I actually did like what I saw. I don't know. I'm a victim of my own ADD, so I easily
and I'm not
watching 10,000 things. So,
and I'm saying I find it boring. Last time I attempted to watch was in 2001 when I was probably like 10 or 11. So it's like, back. It's like, if I were to watch it now, I probably might have a little more suck. I will say I did watch the Paramount Plus making of docudrama The Offer, and I love that. That was phenomenal.
I remember you saying that. Yeah, that sounded good.
So I don't know. Maybe I got to give the Godfather trilogy another chance, and maybe I might love it. I don't know.
It could be, it could be one of those things that just comes with age, you know.
Yeah. Let's see here. All right, so this next one, I think both of us can get behind here, man. Zack Snyder is set to write and direct a remake of the cult classic Escape from New York. I don't know. How do you feel?
No.
All right.
No,
Fair enough.
like, fuck, man. There's so many.
Why do it?
Yes. It's not.
Now I could see if Carpenter did a third one. If he did a trilogy and they brought back Snake himself, or I don't know, passing of the torch, Snake's son.
I feel maybe the son thing could be cliche. It doesn't mean I wouldn't show up for it. But
I'm just saying because the actor's son's is a pretty good actor. But I would love to watch an older Snake.
No, but wouldn't it? But
trying to survive.
Wouldn't it be funny to turn it on its head and like you have oh my god, what's his son's name now? I can't think of.
I was gonna say Jack, not Jack Quaid.
He's great too, but not for this movie.
Yeah, I love how names are just like going past me. Wyatt Russell.
Wyatt, yes. Wouldn't it be funny if they set it up like that and then Wyatt dies in like the first 10 minutes?
Oh, that'd be an interesting twist.
And then he's like,
and that's why Snake needs to do it. Yeah,
it's a revenge story, and it's an elderly Snake Plissken just fucking ripping out throats, and oh my god,
dude.
See, now that I would be on board for it, but to redo it, no, I still think Escape from New York is still so good.
Yeah,
I like revisiting that one like every other year or so, and it has that John Carpenter stank on it that I love so much.
Cheesy and dumb, but it works perfectly.
It commits wholeheartly to the world it's in. You know, that's something that I don't think enough films do. It's like the oh god, the first the Nazi killer guy. One with the guy digging for gold that just
yeah.
Oh my god, why I'm blanking and never talking about forgetting names.
Major Tom from Ground Control threw out an interesting one here. What if Robert Eggers did it? Like, you know how he does all these gritty, dark things?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like a different type, but I feel like that's a different that's a little more horror, but it's an interesting take on it. But
I like the funky sci-fi horror background. You know, like
it'd be interesting to hear his take on that.
Yes. Yeah. I like interesting though. Interesting.
But and like Zack Snyder doing it is odd choice to me, I think. Like if anything, I could see Rodriguez coming in. I feel like he has that type of
didn't Snyder do Army of the Dead?
Yeah. That's true.
That worked. Like I think that tone
I loved Army of the Dead
pretty well with what we're talking about here. But if they're I don't know. It's one of those like beloved cult films, especially from the Carpenter camp. I think that's where I'm apprehensive out the gate.
Yeah. Especially since it's kind of like a toxic fandom that he has going over there these past couple of movies.
Yeah. This is true.
But
I don't know. I feel like I think I almost need to hear a little more before I'm fully sold on whatever that concept might be. Because I still go back and rewatch that one. And I don't I'm not asking for it to be updated or changed or whatever.
If I recall correctly, the sequel wasn't that Escape from Los Angeles?
Escape from LA, yeah.
That one was not as good.
No,
if I recall.
He had to surf in to his drop. He surfed in to LA.
Yeah, that was kind of fun.
But the first one had a basketball match, like a basketball sequence. Or was it this? Or was it Escape from LA, where it was like basketball to the death?
I feel like you'd have that in New York. I feel like God. I don't know.
But
it's been a while.
That alone tells you enough about the movie.
Yeah.
But this is what I like about it, and it's I want that layer of fucking Velveeta slathered across everything. Well, the stakes being up here, it's not quite.
Yeah. All right. Well, this next one, one more story here that could go in a good way or a bad way. Let's see. It's been confirmed that Simon Kinberg's new Star Wars trilogy is actually going to be episodes 10, 11, and 12. Not only that, but it will be a continuation of the Skywalker saga. I don't know. I don't know if we need a continuation right now, but I feel like it makes sense, I guess. I just don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
Simon Kinberg's the man for this.
I was already hyped for a whole lot of other things.
Yeah.
That I'm very accepting of it not being in more Skywalker, which again, it's not like I dislike Rey, but
true. She's not an actual Skywalker,
but
she just took the name.
My problem is more: are you just going to take the post-Republic Legends stories and try to mold them around the story you've already made? And it doesn't work anymore. It honestly just does not fucking work anymore. Are you going to stretch Thrawn out somehow to now be a character he wasn't? Are you going to give us a bunch of Mara Jade doesn't exist? Are you going to try to give us some version of Mara Jade? Shoehorn her in there, even though she was never represented throughout the films. She somehow surpassed living past Luke Skywalker. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I very long ago accepted not having any more Skywalker stories,
which is fine.
Gonna say no, but I'm also going to be a little all right.
You know what I was thinking today? Sorry, this is unrelated to this story in particular, but the whole rumor of Starfighter is Gosling's taking a Force-sensitive kid to safety, and supposedly it's going to be Rey in her new Jedi Academy.
Sure.
But we don't fully know. We don't know when this takes place. Yeah. What if the twist is he's really taking it to a Jedi Academy, but it's Luke's Jedi Academy before the whole Kylo Ren situation, and we're getting that fucking Luke that we wanted? Or do you think that would be too risky and would fuck up continuity
cast someone?
I mean, it worked. Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm not saying do the CG character like we had in Mandalorian.
Sure. No. I agree with you. I would be okay with that as long as the bulk of the movie is then seeing this other outside perspective. Other people might be tired of the Star Wars universe. I'm sure fucking not. And as long as we're addressing it in a way where I can still be entertained and I'm having fun watching what I'm watching, then so be it. Then I'm going to keep coming back and watching what I'm having fun with. If I'm not having fun anymore, then I'll stop watching it. It's that simple. I've done it with certain corners of the universe.
Makes sense.
They don't make that anymore, so I would be okay with that as long as you spend the bulk of your time telling the story.
I'm just saying that would be if that was the very end of the movie. It's fuck. And then that leaves now. It's now we can go and do more stuff with Luke and whatnot, and
I wouldn't be concerned with that at all, especially now that we've incorporated a lot of the animated series characters, the other little bits of the expanded universe that we've canonized. If they can be brought out to the forefront and we can enjoy their stories too, there's so much more we can explore. You can call it the Skywalker saga. That's fine. That's a time period. That's not a character.
Exactly.
Ventress, you've got all of these other people. Ahsoka still. Ahsoka hasn't been in a mainstream movie. Other than the theatrically released animated film, but that hardly counts in my opinion. It's just a long pilot to the series, not a feature film, but
but I mean that was the thing. It was Filoni was supposed to take all these series and put and bring them together in a big event film, but after Mando and Grogu, it seems like that might be on the back burner for a while, if that ever actually does happen. but we'll talk about that when we get to reviews a little later. But do you want to see 10, 11, 12, or do you think it's just let's tell other stories?
Come on.
Like, do you want?
I mean, of course, I'll watch 10, 11, 12. But again,
do you think?
Give me a better what I grew up expecting from stories beyond the point we experienced as kids. We've got fragments of some of that, and the rest of it now cannot exist. So we're treading new ground here.
Like, I'm kind of hoping, like, because JJ was supposed to be the one doing the last set of trilogy, but then it got handed off and this and that. If Simon Kinberg actually does have a full plan for 3 movies and it's not 3 different people coming in, I kind of have a little hope. And maybe let's flesh out and use those characters that got sides, like Rose. She kind of got the brunt of the deal, or fucking anybody really, like Finn. Finn got so fucked. Finn was such a great character who got overshadowed.
Still think the core original story, I still firmly believe they drastically rewrote his story because of the Hasbro debacle and the classic, of course, releasing toys before movies tends to fuck up things, and they did exactly that. It would be nice if we delved back into what could have been. Obviously, it won't be with that character anymore, but who's to say there won't be someone else that could fall under that, fall into that path.
True.
There's so much life left that you don't need to do it in the way you think we need to, I guess.
True.
It's super vague, but it's also like, I'm just still so open to other experiences within this world.
Until we see it and get it, we won't know if it's going to work or not, essentially, till we know what it is, till we witness it.
What I want, all right, so down this line, the background right now that we're streaming with, if you're watching, is from one of my favorite fan-made animated shorts, so-called TIE Fighter. I want that right there, the storyline of Battlefront 2 before she switches back to the Rebels. Spoiler alert. That is what I would love to see in a film or a series. Something wholly within the Empire, and you're watching someone struggling through just the survival of their existence within that world, or rather the Republic. Even an average, non-force sensitive, not star pilot, not general of anything, but someone who's just trying to survive in this world.
That's what I liked about Maul so much, because some people knew what the Empire was doing, and some people thought the Empire was good. And it's like, oh yeah, there were just people. There wasn't always just Jedi and these people fighting. It's like, we're watching as society crumbles and some people adapt and some people get left behind. That's an interesting take that we got to dig a little bit in Maul, at least.
And as the universe is, I'm okay with as any storied franchise will explore, is certain historical events some may occasionally become cyclical. That's that thing of where do we can't then rise to the same level as the Empire once was.
True.
As the Galactic Republic was before them, because then you start getting spread too thin, you start having too much control, you start it's those things where
slippery slope. We
get to see what does the New Republic, how do they end up handling business where they don't make the same mistakes everyone else has before them. And I think, again, we don't need to be Coruscant, not Coruscant anymore. My mistake. We don't need to be center of the universe, like center of the galaxy centric. I want to see what bounty hunters are doing. I want to see what pod racers are doing. Like, you could give me
I'm excited for that pod racer game coming out, dude. That's going to be dope.
Too. You could give me goddamn Star Wars NASCAR. I will be here for it, man. That would be awesome. Some redneck fucking outer rim driver who's just trying to make their way and just get some prize money to buy that sweet ship to go off to fuck off land, whatever. That would be cool too. And I honestly have faith they could do a very interesting story or mini series and something like that. And the things they used to not be afraid of in the novels and the comics and the video games or even, like, I know a lot of people didn't like the Acolyte, but where they were going with it, like as the Jedis were the villain, like that'd be kind of cool to like see that point of view, dig a little deeper. Like maybe the Jedi aren't as
holy as we think they are.
It canonically has been a thing, and I like that idea. The things that fans have, the one story fans have been begging for, I think, more than most others, the Old Republic. Let's get back into Kotar, and you don't have to tell it. Fallout has taught us you don't have to tell us the exact story that was within the game. Put us in the world of that and let us witness the events unfold. That would be incredible. There's so much gas left in the tank. We don't need to just come back to the same things. But again, I'll circle back to, I'm not afraid of the Skywalker timeline. Just offer us some fresh, interesting perspectives.
Yeah.
Within that world.
Fair enough. Well, that's going to do it for the news section, man. That was a lot to take in, but I